court says he rented a house with the defendant while they were attending college. Kevin claims after they moved in, the defendant started sleeping all day and partying all night. And she got a ticket for minor possession of alcohol. Kevin's suing his former roommate for unpaid rent, bills, and the cost of the ticket which he paid for her. Defendant Brittany Lannick says after she moved in with Kevin, he confessed his undying love for her. Brittany claims she soon began to fear for her safety because she would wake up in the middle of the night to find Kevin staring at her. Brittany's countersuing for harassment.
Yes, I met Brittany through a mutual friend of mine and Brandy, who's here with me today. I was planning on going to college in Norman, Oklahoma in December. We all moved in together in a house. In about February, things started to go downhill. Brittany ended up not going to school. She ended up sleeping a lot during the day and partying during the night. And late in February, she got an MI ticket for a minor possession of alcohol.
More of Judge Mathis in a moment.
After a while, things started getting really strange within the first couple of months. And Brandy was caught having sex with her boyfriend in my bed. Our other roommate was stealing our underwear and wearing them. And to make matters worse...
Male or female?
Male. And to make...
Y'all a bunch of freaks.
Yeah.
We moved in together in December, and then...
Who all lived there?
It was myself, Brandy, a mutual friend of mine who was a roommate of mine when I was at NSU, and Brittany.
4 people?
Mm-hmm.
December of 05. Amongst the 4 people, what was the agreement?
We were all going to split it in a quarter, and it was $775 a piece, so it'd be $193.37 per person.
193 is what you all were to pay each? All right, that was as of December of 05. Then what happened?
Well, in February, she got a ticket for minor possession of alcohol, like I mentioned earlier.
Mm-hmm.
And when her court date came around, the court ordered her to pay $423 or she was going to be arrested and taken to jail. I wasn't about to let a friend of mine go to jail, so I offered to pay it as long as she paid me back for it. So I paid that, and then later that night I asked her, I was like, well, if I'm going to pay this, and where are you going to, number one, where are you going to come up with the money for that? And also, where are you going to come up with the money to pay back for past rent and rent that's coming up? And she told me that she was under the impression that she was going to live there for free. I was just flabbergasted at that. I didn't know where in the heck she came up with that.
This was in February?
Late in February, yes.
Has she paid December's rent?
No. Nor
what had you said to her?
Nothing at the time. I was just...
What did you say to her when she was late and failed to pay January's rent? I think I was living there free too, wasn't you? Ma'am, what do you want to say about this?
Okay, well, first of all, Your Honor, we moved in, Brady and I moved in on January 3rd, 2006. It was not 2005.
Mm-hmm.
And after a while, things started getting really strange within the first couple of months. And Brandy was caught having sex with her boyfriend in my bed. Our other roommate was stealing our underwear and wearing them. And to make matters worse...
Male or female?
Male. And to make...
Y'all a bunch of freaks.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree. And to make matters worse, Kevin professed his undying love for me and said that we should date when we're not at home, and then when we get home we can just act like we're friends. But then it started getting really bad. And I would wake up to find him sitting on Brandy's bed watching me. And it started to scare me because I had talked to one of his exes who he pulled a knife on her new boyfriend when she broke up with him. So I started to fear for my safety. So yes, in about March...
What month was that?
That was in February.
For your safety.
That was in February.
All right. How long did you stay there at the premises with the other roommates?
And in March, I started staying with my parents more and started staying with my then boyfriend, now fiance, Frankie. It wasn't until after I moved out that...
When was that?
I didn't get all of my things until June.
Why hadn't you gotten your things earlier than that?
I'm not sure, Your Honor. I should have.
You were still living there.
I should have.
That's why.
I wasn't staying
How
there.
much rent did you pay during those 6 months you were there?
I did not pay rent.
Why didn't you think you had to?
The agreement, which my mother was there, I have her witness statement. The agreement for the rent was that Brandy and I would not have to pay rent. When we moved in, Brandy and I did not have jobs.
The 2 of you discussed this with the 2 men.
Mm-hmm.
And both men said to both ladies, Neither of you have to pay rent.
as long as we cleaned the house.
Oh, this is very easy. This Brandy? Mm-hmm. Oh, come on. State your name.
My name is Brandy Cook.
What do you want to tell me about the agreement on paying rent?
Well, our other roommate, who's not present, he said that we didn't have to pay rent because they were going to open a pool hall together. Kevin
You didn't pay
and the
rent
other.
either.
I had a different agreement. I
What was
helped.
your agreement?
Well, we didn't really have a set agreement.
This is very easy. Did you pay rent?
No,
Did you pay any bills?
no, sir.
All right. Now, the cost of the ticket.
I do owe him the cost of the ticket.
All right. How much is that?
It was $458.
All right.
And there was a $100 refund at the court afterwards.
Who received it?
Kevin did.
Did you get a refund from the
Yes,
court?
I did.
$358. You brought the wrong witness with you. You got to say, yeah, no agreement to pay rent. We definitely didn't have to pay, and we didn't pay.
Sir, that agreement was made by our other roommate, who is
Whoever it was.
He was a
She
no,
said it was right
no
back. You
liar.
didn't pay either, right? So I'm
We did
inclined
not
to
make
believe
that
her.
agreement.
I'm inclined to believe her
Okay.
because you didn't pay either, just as she suggested. And now you're saying it was only an agreement with the other roommate.
Your Honor, I was a roommate with him when I was at NSU, and I was with him whenever he was on the phone, I believe with Brandy at the time. But his agreement was we all pay a quarter of the rent, and if someone's short 1 month, no big deal, it can be taken care of. And I responded to him, "What are we going to do about you? You're short every month." I was referring to his height. And that was the agreement as I understood it to be.
Yeah, we're supposed to laugh now?
Yeah.
Sir, your testimony just contradicted hers. Have a seat.
Judge Mathis rules on this dispute shortly. And coming up,
So what do you think she's saying?
Atlantic claims her former roommate, who's suing her, is obsessed with her and cannot stand the fact that she's pregnant with her fiance's baby.
Sir, did you want to testify?
Yes.
State your name.
Frankie.
What do you want to tell me?
From the time that me and her had met where we worked, I also worked with her. She stayed at this residence for maybe a month, and she went and stayed with her parents. She had told me that she was afraid to go back. That's why she never went and got her stuff. And I told her that I would go with her to get her stuff. So we did, not knowing that he was going to, do this exact same suit 4 different times and
What do
not
you mean
show
4
up to
different
court.
times?
We
He
have
has
proof.
filed this in the Oklahoma State court system 4 times, never showing up. I've got all of them. I've got where it
Never
got
showed up to
dismissed.
court?
Never showed up.
I have where it got dismissed.
Is this true?
I was under the impression that she had not been served, so if
What gave you that impression 4 different times?
because I had a process server.
So 4 different times, you had a case pending, a date in which to attend, and you didn't show up 4 different times because you believe 4 different times your process server failed to serve her, yet she showed up all 4 times, and on the final time they dismissed it.
If you
You got a
notice,
statement from him today?
No, I don't,
I
unfortunately.
know you know.
I'm sorry. If you notice on the papers and the little pink sticky notes that I put on there, the amount goes up every single time that he does it, from $1,423 to $1,900 to I believe $4,300 and then 44
There,
something.
How do you explain that?
the first time it was just the rent. Then the second one I came up with, there are actually some documents.
Came up with, that's about right, came up with. Go ahead, what?
Because I couldn't
One
find.
minute you started at 1,000, then you went all the way up to 4,000, and now you're back down. Your countersuit for 1,000 is for what?
It's for the harassment, the fact that he keeps filing this. He looked me up in his store. He works at a video store where I have an account. He looked me up, found my address, which scares me. He keeps filing this to make me miss work and just make me show up, and
Why
he's
do you
not
think
going to
he's
come.
doing this?
Because he's obsessed with me. And he can't stand the fact that I am almost 6 months pregnant and completely happy and have not been happier in my life.
How do you answer that, sir?
I had no interest in her anymore, number one. And number two, with the court dates, I didn't know that. I figured.
Why not leave us alone?
So you've already addressed the court dates. I believe you harassed this woman, taking her to